Hello and welcome to another episode of Dream Home Cooking. Today I have some delicious, simple recipes to share with you guys. I'm going to share my simple stuffed mushroom recipe that you will not believe how easy it is and how wonderful they are. And then I'm going to share my mother-in-law's recipe for homemade vegetable beef soup, which is also out of this world. And then I'm going to make my homemade pimento cheese and show you guys how I do pimento grilled cheese sandwiches that are fantastic. And then for dessert, I have a really low-calorie, low-fat dessert, which is a raspberry kiss tartlet. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've already got the olive oil in the pan. It's 2 tablespoons of olive oil that I put here in this soup pot. And to it, I'm going to add, this is a little less than 2 pounds of beef stew meat. And what you want to do, it comes in uneven pieces, so you want to be sure to take the stew meat and cut it in even pieces so it cooks evenly. And you also want to make sure it's dry. Just pat it dry with paper towels because it will help with the browning process. And this is one of those, I call them one-pot wonders. So you just throw it all in there and let it simmer, and it's delicious. So I'm going to brown this meat probably for about 8 to 10 minutes until it's nice and brown. Then I'll add the rest of the ingredients. All right, so the stew meat is nice and brown now after about 10 minutes of just occasionally stirring it. I did put a teaspoon of salt and pepper on the meat. And of course, with anything, you want to taste it as you go and season it to your liking. I'm going to put a little Cajun season in there, about a teaspoon of that. And then of course my garlic powder and onion powder, about a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of each. And then after I get all the other ingredients in there, I'll go back and taste it. And if I feel like I need some more seasonings, then I'll certainly put it in there. And then of course some Worcestershire, about a teaspoon of that. And then this makes it really good. I've got 2 tablespoons of sugar, white sugar. Just gives it a little bit of a sweetener. And then I've got 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And it smells wonderful already, just adding those seasonings in there. And the key to this soup is it takes literally 5 minutes to put it together, but you want to let it simmer at least an hour and a half to 2 hours because this meat will become fork tender. It's absolutely delicious. And the meat, it's a very inexpensive cut of meat as well, so this is a very cost-effective meal. All right, and then I'm going to add a tablespoon of flour just for a thickening agent. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I just like it because it gives it a little bit of thickness. And then the rest of this is just adding everything else. So then I have a cup of water that I'm going to add to it. I have a 14.5 ounce can of stewed tomatoes, and then 1 can of beef consomme. And this is important because it just cuts all the tomato that I'm putting in here, or tomato juice. Just gives it a nice flavor. Okay, and then the other thing, the most important, is just a bottle. It's a 48 ounce bottle of V8 juice. And just slowly pour it in here. This is my sweet mother-in-law's recipe, and I tell you, I was so fortunate to grow up with a mother who was such a wonderful cook. And then when I married my husband, I added a second mom who was also a wonderful cook, and she shared so many recipes with me. And she's no longer with us anymore, but her legacy lives on with all of her recipes, and she was such a wonderful lady. And she left me a huge box of about 200 to 300 handwritten recipes, and I will cherish that forever and pass it on to my sweet children and hopefully grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And then the last step is to add a pound of mixed vegetables. So I've got just frozen mixed vegetables. And if you have people in your family who hate lima beans or they don't like carrots, then you can just do, corn and peas, or corn, peas, green beans. You can just make it to your liking. So I'm going to bring this to a boil, cover it, and let it simmer for an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then when we come back, I'm going to get started on my mushrooms.
In choosing a contractor in today's market, finding someone that is going to take care of you and make sure that you're happy with their product, with the quality, it's not an easy task today. The most important thing to me is doing what you say you're going to do, taking care of the customer, installing a product that is superior. My motto is, call the lady with a team you can trust, and I feel confident that we are a team that you can trust.
There's something about carpet that gives a room a warm, soft feeling. Our carpet also gives you something else, peace of mind. All of our exclusive carpet brands are made in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. So feel free to live your life exactly the way you want. Get your soft carpet from the flooring experts at WALLACE Flooring. Visit our new showroom in Madison, locally owned since 2002.
My father started this business in 1977. The people that work for us is part of what sets us apart. All of our employees have experience. All of our plumbers have been with us for 10 years or greater. Our motto at Dean & Son is quality and service. We're going to do quality work. We don't leave people hanging. We're there when we're supposed to be. We're done when we're supposed to be. Living up to what you sell and service them after they pay you, that's where your integrity in the plumbing business comes.
Dean & Son Plumbing Company. Call today at 518-9780.
Okay, we're back and I am working on my simple stuffed mushrooms now. So in my black skillet, I have 16 ounces of the Jimmy Dean pork sausage, or whatever brand you like. It's over by the bacon and the little roll. So what I'm gonna do is brown this, and you want it really nice and brown. So while that continues to brown, I'm gonna show you guys how I clean out my mushrooms whenever I'm gonna stuff them. I have this little strawberry huller. It doubles as a strawberry huller or a tomato core, but I just want to twist the mushroom cap off. Some recipes I have for stuffed mushroom call for the mushroom stems and pieces. This one doesn't, so we're just going to discard it. But you just very carefully kind of move around in there and just get all of that meat out of there until you've got a nice little cavity to put your stuffing. So it's just real simple. So I'm gonna finish up doing these and get this sausage browned, and then I'll show you guys the next step in this recipe. All right, the sausage is nice and browned, and it took about 10 minutes to just really keep stirring it and let it brown. Now I wanna take a slotted spoon, because I wanna get this out of all that grease. I'm gonna put it onto paper towels so it'll soak up the rest of that grease, or most of it anyway. My best friend Tina made these this summer and brought them over, and everybody was having a fit. And she said, oh, you just won't even believe how simple this recipe is. And when she told me, I couldn't believe it. Okay, that's about the last of the sausage. And it wouldn't be a cooking show if you didn't hear one of my dogs whining. That's Cooney. All right, so now, going to spread that out a little bit so it'll continue to drain. So then the next step is to take an 8-ounce block of cream cheese, and you want it to be at room temperature. And then I'm going to take this sausage and I'm going to put it on top of the cream cheese and just stir it until it is mixed well together. And just this little combination inside these mushrooms is fantastic. And with this sausage, because it's still so warm, it really does also help kind of melt the cream cheese as you're stirring. And you just want to make sure that it's really mixed well. And then I didn't tell you guys, this is 3 8-ounce packages of mushrooms, and these are the baby Bella mushrooms. So that's what I used, and it should be just about right, the ratio as far as the stuffing to the mushrooms. I may have 1 or 2 left over, but it may come out perfectly even, we'll see. Okay, now I'm ready to stuff the mushrooms. So I have this sweet little baby spoon from my little niece Chandler, who I love dearly, and it works perfectly for stuffing mushrooms because a regular teaspoon is a little too big. So I like to use this. And you just want to put a generous amount just right to the top like that. And I'm going to line them in this 13 by 9 by 2 pan with sides, so that way they stay about nice and upright. So I will finish stuffing these, and then I'm going to sprinkle some paprika on top of them and bake them for about 15 to 20 minutes or until it's bubbly in the 350 oven. So when we come back, I'm gonna get started on the pimento cheese and the dessert.
Since 1983, individuals and businesses in Alabama have relied on Wolf Jones, Conchin, Wolf, Hancock, and Daniel for their legal representation. Our experienced attorneys offer high-quality legal counsel in commercial law, real estate, and personal injury litigation. So if you need an attorney, hire the best attorney you can. Call the experienced North Alabama attorneys of Wolf Jones, Conchin, Wolf, Hancock, and Daniel to arrange your initial consultation, because we're dedicated to setting the standard for legal services. At Quality Plus, our motto is don't call 3, call me, because where else can you find North Alabama's finest craftsmen who can handle all of your residential roofing, drywall, and painting needs. At Quality Plus, all work is 100% guaranteed, and no job is too big or too small, whether it's new construction or remodeling. So for your roofing, drywall, and painting needs, don't call 3, call me at Quality Plus Production, 256-990-7578.
I had the best dream last night. We were building a new house or remodeling, and I found the most gorgeous tile. Tumbled noche for the master bath, Venetian gold granite for the kitchen, and a beautiful custom backsplash. And while shopping, I ran into Jean-Luc.
So, you're heading to Jenkins Brick and Tile today?
Yeah.
I'll go with you.
Jenkins Brick and Tile, Madison Boulevard in Madison. We'll show you the tile of your dreams.
Okay, we're back, and now I'm going to share my homemade pimento cheese recipe with you guys. This is a staple in the South, and it is so wonderful on so many things, from hamburgers, grilled cheese pimento sandwiches, just on Ritz crackers, just eating it out of the bowl with a spoon. It's wonderful, and it's so easy to make. So what you want to do is, I'm going to start with mayo, and I'm a Hellmann's mayo girl. So I say 1/2 to 3/4 cup of mayo. If you're not a huge mayo fan and you don't like as much mayo in your pimento cheese, then stick with 1/2 cup. So I'm gonna put a little more than 1/2 cup in here. Then I've got 3 tablespoons of white sugar, just to give it a little bit of sweetness, about a teaspoon of salt, and then I love lots of coarse ground black pepper in it. So I'll put about a tablespoon of pepper in my pimento cheese. And then some Worcestershire, a tablespoon of that. And then some hot sauce. And you don't have to do this, but I like a little kick to it, about 1.5 teaspoons. And you can just eyeball it. And then another thing, I don't do it all the time, but I like a little heat. So this is 1 fresh jalapeno seeded and chopped fine. And remember to wear gloves when you do that, because your fingers will burn. So I'm gonna put that in there. Make sure I get all of that out. And we're just gonna stir this together. Oh, and of course, you don't wanna forget the main ingredients. This is a little small jar of pimentos. These are diced, I like the diced, and you want to keep the juice in there. And just dump them in. And stir that up. Okay, and then the last step is to add the cheese. And this is a 16 ounce block of medium cheddar, and then 16 ounces of sharp white cheddar. So you want to grate it yourself. I'm not a fan of using I love the shredded cheeses that are in the packs, but for this, I feel like it does change the consistency, so you're better off to use a box grater or a food processor. So I'm just gonna add this cheese in here. And this will last, literally, well, I'm just making a big mess. It will last about 3 weeks in the fridge. So I'm gonna work on this, getting all that mixture, mayo mixture, mixed well with the cheese. Oh, and I forgot to tell y'all, our community of the week this week is Overland Cove, and that is one of our carefree living communities that is absolutely beautiful. It's literally a minute from 565. Of course, all the wonderful schools that are in the Monrovia School District that our children went to. And if you don't want to have to deal with lawn care anymore, home maintenance, you want a beautiful pool that you can use anytime in the summer, a clubhouse to have parties, this is the place. And I highly encourage you guys to go out there and check it out. We've got a lot of new things going on out there. I think you guys will just be blown away. And it's also close to Providence, which also has so many great restaurants out there, and it's growing. So Mike will tell you guys a lot more about it, and he'll do a little tour for y'all. So this pimento cheese is ready. Well, I say it's ready, it's stirred. I stirred it real well, and I'm gonna pop it in the fridge. And it's best to sit overnight. So let me get this cleaned up, and then I'm gonna get started on our dessert. Okay, this might simply be the easiest recipe you'll ever have in your life. What you wanna do is just take, it's these little mini phyllo shells that you buy in the frozen section, and you just lay them out. I'm just gonna put them on a pan. There's 15 of them in here. And this is for, you know, I love dessert, but after a huge meal, I don't really want a huge piece of pie or cake. I just need a little something sweet, and this is perfect for that because it's just a little bite of chocolate, and I love chocolate, so this is why this is my favorite. I have the dark chocolate Hershey Kisses, and what you want to do is just set the Hershey Kiss down in here, and then I bake them for only 3 to 4 minutes, just until the Hershey Kiss starts to melt. And then you take them out of the oven, and then you put a fresh raspberry on top of it. So I'm gonna get finished putting these kisses in here, and then we'll get started on the grilled cheese, pimento cheese sandwiches. All right, so I'm gonna show you guys how I make my pimento cheese grilled cheese sandwiches. And this is a no-brainer, it's really simple. You may already do it at home with pimento cheese, but I always like a nice fresh loaf of bread from the deli, from your grocery store deli. I'm gonna cut the end piece off. And I like to buy it whole instead of sliced so that I can control the thickness of the slice. Okay, so what you want to do, you can hear my butter sizzling. I have about a tablespoon and a half of real butter. So I'm going to put a generous layer of my homemade pimento cheese on the bread. I love soup and sandwiches, so this is a really good hearty meal. Then I'm going to smush that together. And then I'm gonna butter one side of this, the one that goes up. I've already got the butter in here for the other side, but I'm just gonna take some butter that I let sit out, and I always like to use real butter. Don't give me any margarine. So I buttered that side, and then I'm just gonna place this into the skillet. And you basically just grill it until it's melted, till the cheese is kind of melted in there, and the bread is nice and browned and toasted, and it's gonna be wonderful with the soup. So I'm gonna finish these up, and then Mike will be joining us very soon to taste all these delicious recipes that I made today.
When we came to looking for a cabinet company and a manufacturer to use, and with Wellborn being the selection, Wellborn has a good foundation within the company and the folks that run their company. And when you have a good foundation, things typically follow suit with that, and things will stay steady. Their values, I feel like, are on a solid foundation. I feel like their true intent is to build a product that will be a lasting product, and you're going to love what you see.
Wellborn Cabinets, the essence of cabinetry, at Woodland Homes of Huntsville.
Want to create something extraordinary? Create perfection. Our lifestyle appliances make it easy. GE Monogram, Bob Wallace Appliance, and you, when only the best will do.
So today we're out at Overland Cove, and Overland Cove is our townhome and garden home community. It is perfect for the single parent, the young professional, or even the empty nester. So what makes Overland Cove so appealing to so many people is it's truly a carefree, maintenance-free style of living. Your lawn care is taken care of for you. You don't have to worry about cutting the grass. You can throw away your lawnmower, but then you have home ownership. This is a very, very private community, and everything is landscaped like you would live in a resort. So I've got another another home over here I want to show you. I want to show you 3 different versions, a loft version, a semi-loft version, and then also a traditional version. So come on, let's take a look. So the home that you're in right now is our semi-loft version, and I really love it. It's traditional, but it has a little bit of a loft flair just because we've added some brick. Now, one thing that these homes will feature is they live so much bigger than what the actual square footage is. The homes in here are 1,200 to 1,800 square feet, but we've added big, huge vaulted ceilings, we've added plant ledges, just to really open up the feel of these particular homes. We've also come in and we've added some brick also in the kitchen. But in the semi-loft version, you're also getting the updated hardware, the updated finishes on the cabinets, and then also the glass ceramic tile backsplash. So I love this version. If you don't want to go with the full exposed beams, then you can go with the semi-loft version. Now let's take a quick look at the traditional version, and it's our fully furnished model. So you'll see what the homes look like and what they lived like with furniture in them. So let's go look at that. Now this is our traditional version, and as you can see, we have put furniture in here, and this has always been a successful product for us. So this plan has several different versions. Some of our townhomes we can modify to where you can use this as a formal dining room. You do have your breakfast room over here, but also you could use it basically just as a little study. So this is kind of what we call a flex room. So the kitchen, we've gone with a little bit more of our traditional cabinetry. This is a brand new floor plan that we've just developed, and it is getting a lot of great responses. Lives big, it lives like a home, and that's what's so great about this particular home. So let's go look at our Urban Loft series. And I was inspired by this because my daughter and I went to New York City last year. So my daughter and I, we rented an apartment. Well, when we got there and showed up, it was a loft apartment. And I'm like, man, this apartment is so neat. It had a lot of brick on the inside of it, brick wall. It had beautiful hardwood floors throughout, and it had exposed beams and exposed ductwork. And so really that got me thinking about, man, what an opportunity in order to be able to bring this back to Huntsville and do a loft townhome series. So we have just completed our brand new model home out at Overland Cove, and this version is the loft series. It'll feature the exposed trusses, it'll feature the exposed ductwork, the brick accent walls in the interior of it, the honed hardwood floors throughout, and it just gives it such a really urban look, and it is perfect for the singles, single parents, or the young professionals. So if you truly want to look at the latest and greatest for the Huntsville market, come out and look at our urban loft designs at Overland Cove.
Okay, we're back, and I've got Mike with me in the kitchen.
And it smells great.
He's starving as usual.
Building homes is hard work.
I know it is. I know it is. I made your Sweet Mama's vegetable beef soup recipe.
It
I know.
Smells
good. With pimento cheese, grilled cheese sandwiches.
That's awesome.
That's about the only thing that's really fattening on the menu today. Well, the mushrooms.
Well, if you don't eat a whole lot, you're good to go.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and,
but,
and this is...
these are the simple stuffed mushrooms I make with just Italian sausage and cream cheese.
Yeah,
so easy. Tina
good.
actually made these, and we were at the lake, and we all fell in love with them.
Right.
And then my little dessert, you can have 3 of these for 100 calories. So it's little Hershey Kisses with a fresh raspberry. It's good stuff.
Well, good. That all sounds good.
Yeah,
it smells
so
good.
soup and sandwich kind of day.
So you've been cooking up in the kitchen, huh?
Yes, I have.
Well,
and I'm anxious to hear about Overland Cove because I know we've got some new things going on out there. I've seen pictures and
Yep,
so
absolutely.
that's exciting.
Well, you know, sales have been great out at Overland Cove, and if y'all don't know where Overland Cove is, it is located off of Indian Creek Road. So you can go Research Park Boulevard, exit on Plummer, turn left, and then it's just right down on the right-hand side. But, you know, there's such a big market for our empty nesters, our single parents, and also our young professionals. So when we decided to do a carefree community, our first one was at Woodmill Trace, and it was hugely successful. I mean, we sold out of that in 2 years, 2.5 years. So then we put a little twist in it at Overland Cove, and we started doing a blend of townhomes and also garden homes. So we've got 2 different products out at Overland Cove. Our prices start just under $200,000, which actually in today's market is less than what you can pay for rent. But sales have been brisk out there. We just got approval from the City of Huntsville to start phase 2. So we've got about 50 more home sites that we're putting on the ground. So we've just been excited because everything seems to be growing out this way.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've got great school systems. But with the new hospital out in the Madison area, with Bridge Street going on, with the new 53 expansion all the way up to Jeff Road. I mean, it's just, there's so much going on out here, and we're excited about that because what we're seeing is we're seeing property values keep on going up and up and up and up. So people are looking to invest, out in this area. They're looking for something that's carefree and maintenance-free. Your yard's cut, your weeds are pulled. It's simple, it's easy, but also it's safe and it's in a great location. And so, there is a lot of adult clientele that are sitting in their home. They may have sat there for years and years and years, and now they're basically, saying, it's time. It's time for me to sell my big home, scale down, and simplify things. And so this is a simplification community is what Overland Cove is.
There comes a point in your life where you need to reward yourself for all the yard work you did and working on the pool and all that and pulling weeds. And this is a different, I think it's a wonderful concept. And the garden homes are my favorite. I love the townhomes, but they're so deceiving. I mean, you look at them and then you walk through the front door and you go,
it's a home.
I can't believe how huge this is. So
it's
for the price.
We call it, it's a place to chillax.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, Overland Cove is open 7 days a week. If you want information on Overland Cove, you can give us a call at 830-9000, or you can log on to our website and find out information on any one of our communities. We have 8 different communities in a price range anywhere from starting in the $100,000 all the way up to the $600,000 or $700,000. Whatever your family desires are, whatever their needs are, we've got the perfect product that can accommodate your family and your lifestyle. So for your recipes, you can
log on to woodlandhomes.com. Friend us on Facebook. We've got a Dream Home cooking page and a Woodland Homes cooking page.
And you got a blog that's blowing up. You've got international viewers on your blog. So
that's fun. But yeah, and as always, we thank our sponsors because they do
great
awesome.
Quality work. And if you need something, log on to our website, find out who our sponsors are, and give them a call. So with that being said, I'm starving. Can we eat now?
Let's eat.
Okay, we'll see y'all in the community.